Hey everyone, Dark Richician of Team Sorcerers here, and at long last, Series 5 of the Dark Richician's Deck Grand Championship is about to kick off. Like, I have waited long enough to start this competition. Like, it should have started way back in January. And I didn't want to wait any longer. This damn processor still hasn't arrived yet. So I'm not waiting any longer. I'm just gonna do the whole thing on Dueling Book using my laptop and Apple laptop. I would use YGO Pro, which I prefer to use, but I can't seem to get it on the Apple device, which is annoying because I prefer YGO Pro over Dueling Book because it's automated and it's just generally easier to use. But I'll have to make do for the time being. So yeah, that's that. Oh, and the whole thing will be done under Master Rule 5 rules. I mean, we're close enough to having those come into effect. I'm not sure if they'll come into effect next week or in a few months. But, all the same, it's just simpler to do the whole thing under Master Rule 5 rules. And yeah, it does help out any fusion, synchro and exceeds based decks that will be used. And I might as well use the championship as to round up my tournament challenge thing that I've been doing recently, because obviously because of the current crisis in the world, I'm not going to be able to go to tournaments anytime soon. So all the remaining decks I had planned to use will of course be in this competition, and then I'll decide a little later on if I want to go back into tournament retirement or play in only Saturday tournaments. But yeah, this is the deal for now. Oh yeah, things are going to be different this time. Instead of the round 1 and 2 matches, we're doing this Robot Wars style, and this will be done in heats. There's going to be 8 heats, 4 decks in each heat, 2 decks in each heat will be seeded. As usual, there will be 16 seeds, which I'll introduce in a moment, and here's how it's going to work. The 4 decks are going to play 3 rounds of Swiss, and with each win they get points. If it's a 2-0 win, it's 3 points. If it's a 2-1, it's 2 points. This is just basically in an attempt to try and avoid any ties, if possible. Not quite sure what to do if like 3 of them have like 3 points and one of them has 1 or 2, which creates an awkward situation which I've yet to figure out what to do about should this problem arise. Anyway, the 2 decks with the most points will then do battle again in a heat final, and the winner of the heat final will go through to the series quarterfinals. Anyway, let's try and move this so I can show the deck an extra deck. There we are. That being said, let's introduce the seeds, starting with seed number 1, the reigning champion, Noble Knights. Last year's winner, much to the delight of Clock Yu-Gi-Oh! And this is one of the top contenders and the ones to watch out for and the ones to beat, especially considering they created some major upsets last year, defeating the likes of Cyburst, Elemental Heroes in the quarterfinals, Rainbow Neos, no, Blue Eyes White Dragon in the semi-finals, and dethroned Dark Magician in the grand final. So yeah, everyone wants a piece of the Noble Knights. Then, seed number 2, last year's runner-up, my favourite deck, my signature deck, the 2-time former champion, but the current reigning ultimate champion, Dark Magician. Oh yeah, this is the other big deck to watch out for in the competition. Besides, obviously, qualifiers for bigger tournaments, this deck has won pretty much everything that's been thrown at it. Like I said, it's definitely a big name to watch out for in this competition, and a red-hot favourite to go all the way. Now the big question is though, can Dark Magician reclaim the title again and win it for a third time? I mean, God, if it won it for a third time, like, I'd have to get myself something to keep forever and do something to celebrate this victory. I don't know. Mind you, it would be pretty dull though. Now, although Dark Magician is my absolute favourite deck and will always root for it in this competition, I want a new champion. Like preferably one of my hero decks, like Elemental Heroes, Rainbow Neos, or NeoSpacians. I'll even settle with like Blue Eyes or RedEyes winning. As we shall see. And speaking of Blue Eyes, here they are, seed number 3, Blue Eyes White Dragon, last year's bronze medalist and one of the very best decks that I have. But it's been very unlucky in the previous series, especially in the last 3, where it lost to Raid Raptors in Series 2 and Noble Knights twice in the last 2 series. Like, I still don't even know how that happened and how Blue Eyes lost to them. Like, I mean, they're tough decks, but Blue Eyes should have easily been able to beat them. They've beaten other Raid Raptor and Noble Knight decks, but it was just a case of not having the right cards when I needed them. But hopefully, maybe the bad luck of the past will be put behind. I know Express Gaming really wants to see Blue Eyes win the Grand Championship, but they definitely got what it takes, so yeah, let's see how they do. Seed number 4, the deck which just missed out on a place on the podium. I'll just bring it up. Here we go. Destiny End Dragoon. Very cool, very underrated hero deck. Runner-up in the Ultimate Championship. Semi-finalist last time. Only Dark Magician stopped Dragoon. Actually, in both these contests, actually. Dark Magician beat this deck in the final of the Ultimate Championship and then the semi-finals last year. But now they're back and better than ever, and they've got Fusion Destiny and Extra Hero Wonder Driver at hand. So yeah, it has a good chance of going all the way, definitely. Seed number 5 for the second time in a row. Raid Raptors, the winner of Series 2, twice a quarter-finalist in the last 2 series. Definitely a worthy contender for the title, especially since it did win the title in Series 2. Who knows? I mean, I've still got 2 Link monsters in here. Wise Strix, like, just because. But still, the deck can be played the way it was played back in Master Rule 3. So, yeah, I mean, there's not really much else to say, really. And of course, it's a deck that I want to rebuild in real life. Because, like I said, it's my favourite archetype from the Arc 5 era. And this is a good chance to play him again. So I'm going away. Seed number 6, Elemental Heroes. My second favourite deck to play, and also a very unlucky one in this contest. Well, at least after Series 1, was the runner-up in Series 1. But then hasn't had much luck ever since. However, now that they're essentially back at full power and can play 3 copies of Stratos, plus having the addition of Liquid Soldier and Sunrise gives them a good chance at going through. Fingers crossed there. Seed number 7, Yugi Gadgets, the dark horse of Series 2. And this can essentially go really far again, now that it's back at full power. It has created some shock wins in the past. We could see more in the future, and that's really all there is to say about it, really. Seed number 8, Blackluster Soldier, my ritual deck. It's incomplete because I need to put in 3 cards which are supposed to be a surprise. Yeah, quarter-finalists in Series 2 and 4. And the funny thing is, BLS should have actually finished second last year. Yeah, annoying story. Like, after I filmed the quarter-finals, semi-finals, and grand final originally, that was when I had my laptop problems and it just malfunctioned, and the results were different from what you saw on screen. You see, BLS was supposed to actually beat Blue Eyes in the quarter-finals. The other quarter-final results were the same, and BLS went up against Noble Knights and beat Noble Knights, and then lost to Dark Magician in the final. So Dark Magician had actually kept hold of the title. However, after this was when the laptop malfunctioned and I lost everything that was on there. And I had to basically redo the quarter-finals onwards. And of course you had the result, which you'll have seen on my original channel, with Blue Eyes beating Blackluster Soldier, but then Noble Knights beating Blue Eyes and Dark Magician. It's really annoying, but I'm not that mad about it. I mean, it's not like BLS actually won the title, plus I've won more than enough things with Dark Magician anyway. But at least it does go to show that it can go all the way. Seed number 9, RedEyes Black Dragon, the runner-up of Series 3. But unfortunately last year was very unlucky. Actually lost to BLS in round 2 and was the one and only time that RedEyes failed to reach the quarter-finals. But obviously this time you know that RedEyes Right, sorry about that. My stupid laptop or doodling book or whatever decided to spaz out and freeze. I apologise for that. Anyway, let's move on. Seed number 11, Magnet Warriors, the Dark Horse of Series 3. The deck which stripped Raid Raptors of the crown, although rather typically, after beating the current champion at the time, they then lost to the eventual champion, Dark Magician, and sadly last year they lost in round 1 to Crystal Beasts. Well, maybe not that sad, because it was great that Crystal Beasts finally got past round 1. Seat number 12, Buster Blader, two-time quarter-finalist, Siren, from the first 2 series. Hasn't had great success since then, although interestingly I think it might be because of the Master Rules, maybe, because on the 2 occasions this did make the quarter-finals, it was Master Rule 3, and then when Lynx and Master Rule 4 were a thing, it didn't make the quarter-finals. So maybe this time things will change. Maybe Buster Blader can get to the quarter-finals again and beyond. Then seed number 13, Galaxy Photons, which I haven't played in a long time. Also a strong yet unlucky deck. It made it to the quarter-finals in Series 1, but hasn't got further ever since. So hopefully this time we'll see Galaxies shine, and they'll go very far. They've got a good chance now that Master Rule 5 is a thing. Seed number 14, Utopia. Now, although this never made it to the quarter-finals, this was a quarter-finalist in the Ultimate Championship. And I felt it deserved a seeding because of that. And again, it's another deck that's basically back to full power thanks to Master Rule 5. So yeah, let's see how far Utopia gets. And seed number 15, Destiny Heroes. Also, just like Utopia, didn't make the quarter-finals in the main competition, but did in the Ultimate Championship. So I think it was worth a seeding. Though interestingly, it was unlucky enough to lose to the 3rd seed in Series 2 and 3. But with the support from Dark Neostorm, it's got a good chance of going far. And finally, seed number 16, NeoSpacians. Unfortunate not to at least make the quarterfinals, I think, especially last year, where it should have got through round 1 at least, but I just didn't see NeoSfusion at all, or Keeper, which is a shame, because the support from Savage Strike and the Nebula Neos tin gave NeoSpacians a massive boost, but getting far in the competition just didn't happen last year, so maybe it'll happen this year. Okay, so they are the seeds, and yeah, hope you guys are looking forward to it. And just before the video ends, I present to you the lineups for the heats.